back here on the Cover 3 podcast. If time slots are to be believed, this is one of the 6 biggest games of the entire Week 6 Saturday slate. It is Clemson going on the road to play Florida State. And look, I thought about, like in all seriousness, there needs to, we got to at least get your thought on the quarterback change, and I think we kind of fold this into the whole handicap of the game in terms of how we think this is going to go. Because while Brock Glenn was thrown into the fire of the ACC championship game and then later on the Orange Bowl, he has spent a good portion of this season trying to prepare himself to be ready. We got a lot of word salad from Mike Norvell on Monday in terms of him really wanting you to know that he had already made the decision to put Brock Glenn in before the pick six. But now, we were at that time, we weren't sure what was going to go on with DJ with the finger injury. But I mean, this is Brock Glenn's team now, right?
I think so. It wouldn't shock me to see Cromenhoek play as well. I think part of the word salad from Norvell is that they do have some level of confidence long-term in both the guys that they have on the roster, like not DJ, obviously. The reason DJ's been playing is like DJ's been better in practice at operating the whole offense. Okay. Do I think they're going to run like the full menu of offense against Clemson? No. Okay. Brock Glenn is a much better athlete than DJ is. DJ also, to me, looks hurt, right? And I know we talked about this on a couple times, and shoot, almost every Nolecast episode. Like, how are you like running that slowly? Like, you weren't super athletic at Oregon State, but I mean, this looks like I'm watching the replay on 0.8. Like, it's just not good. So, yeah, I mean, this will be Brock's team for this game. It wouldn't shock me to see like some Cromenhoek packages because he's even more athletic. Like Luke was like an all-state safety before he became quarterback because he was behind a kid named Holden Garner, who was a 4-star signed, with Auburn in like his sophomore year. So, yeah, I don't expect much from the offense. Norvell has weirdly schemed open points almost every time that they have played Clemson. I don't know if it's like just the schematics that what they do matches up well at times what Clemson does. They were really outgunned the year that DJ came into Tallahassee, and they gave him a run for like 40 minutes, basically by scheming up explosive run play stuff and getting Clemson outgapped. So do I think they can do that again? Probably not consistently. Would it shock me if it's like an all-in effort and they find a way to hit an explosive play or something? Not entirely. I mean, like that's just given their track record. I mean, they scored up there at Clemson during like the year after the COVID year, so 21, when they had no business scoring like any points. But no, I don't think they match up well in this one personally. I'm a little. Should we be all the way back sold on Clemson's offense after the games that we saw this weekend?
I am more sold on Clemson's offense than I am on Clemson's defense. And here is why. I think that, and I need to go back and like check participation charts. And I'm sure, look, the way that Clemson fans and Clemson media continue, and that line blurs, the way that like they, follow all this stuff and do their tape breakdowns. I'm sure that they can call me to task on this, but later in games, teams have been able to move the ball. Now they are going up against backups, but it's like the NC State game and the Stanford game followed the exact same similar pattern. They come out, they lay the absolute hammer early, and then later into the game, it just, the opponent just kind of lingers. And look, maybe that is something that you only notice. You're sitting on a minus 21.5 or a minus 20.5. But I think that there might be something instructive, at least in terms of how you want to look at this team, that, maybe from the perspective of, okay, they call the dogs off and it was like, yeah, but why didn't you just like totally, why aren't you totally stepping on the throat right there? So I don't know, just something that's sort of lingering right now, at least in terms of not letting a few late scores in that have been, have at least gotten my eye.
There's something to that. I think a couple things. One, I don't think they have quite the depth at DN that they used to have. And so the pass rushing reps, I think, suffer a little bit when the backups come in. Two, Peter Woods has been out, right? I assume he'll play this week. Like, this is probably one of the games you'd hold him for because, like, Florida State sucks, but at least athletically, like, I think as a coach, that scares you a little bit more than if you're playing like a really well coached Wake team. You know, it's like,
Mhm.
hey, like they can't run with us. Florida State can't get their act together, obviously, which is disappointing. And they may get their butts totally kicked up front with Clemson's D line. But there are some things that would scare you about the matchup, I think, as a coach, just because you know, like the caliber of athlete at some spots on that team. But I think you're right. Like TJ Parker had 25 pass rush reps last week. Like Jaheim Lawson was the next with 24. You know, Trey Williams had 20. Like Capehart only had 11. Denhoff had 10. So some of your better guys don't have a million pass rush reps in these games for Clemson. I brought up the comment on the other side, Chip, because like the Georgia game from Clemson's offense now looks way worse.
I don't.
I mean,
I think that we have to put some stock into Clemson's offensive line getting better, just playing more. You know, I mean, guys were literally running into each other. I mean, guards were pulling and giving each other hugs. You know, I felt like there was a lot of clunkiness in the execution. I thought that you can lay some of that at Cade's feet. Certainly, he did not look comfortable at all. But I think that group as a whole, and also remember, Brian Wesco only played like 8 snaps in that game.
totally fair. They are using the young guys more, which has helped. NC State, when they weren't getting strip sack fumbles, allowed Northern Illinois to drive the ball on them. Like that's a little concerning. And App State obviously, who has a worse defense than App State? New Mexico, Kent State, probably Ball State. Like I'm shooting off top of the dome here, but so I don't know. Like I think Clemson's offense is better since the Georgia game. I'm having a hard time quantifying how much better, personally,
I
because they haven't played like a mid-level defense yet. They've played really good in Georgia, 2 really, really bad in Stanford and App. And I think we have to keep downgrading NC State's defense every week until they bottom. But I don't know.
I don't know if I would consider Florida. I don't know where I would consider Florida State's defense.
Yeah, is Florida State's defense better than NC State's?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah,
I think there are more talented pieces. I cannot say that the execution is better.
they have both been victimized by horrendous field position created by the offense just screwing around and turning it over as
Yeah.
well. So that's hard to differentiate.
All right, as we keep it rolling in sort of an ACC corner, SMU, which just won 42-16 at home. Now they're going to be going to the house that Papa built to play Louisville. Louisville, was resilient against Notre Dame.